Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. So you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 and then click on view all lessons. So there you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter Congruent Triangles. So let's just start with the lesson. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well, right? So let's just start with the first lesson from the chapter, that is side and side angle side theorem, right? Okay. The lesson name is SSS and SAS theorem, right? So let's just see what theorem it is, right? Side means that is all the three corresponding sides are congruent, right? It would be like this. For example, you have two triangles, right? So for side, all three triangle corresponding sides are congruent. Okay. Then you have side angle and side. That means two sides and angle between the two sides are these two sides and angle between them. They are the congruent, right? Two sides and angle between them is congruent, right? So let's start with an example. You're given triangles here. Okay, just look at this one. Which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem, right? So you are given triangles. You have to see which two are congruent using side angle side, right? Okay, UV. Just look at the triangle U UVW and QRS, because here you have two sides and angle between them and here you have two sides angle between them. So the triangle UVW and QRS are the congruent by SAS theorem, right? You can see here UVW and QRS because you can see angle UV is congruent to angle right side QS, side UW is congruent to side QRQ, and angle U is congruent to angle Q. So that's why these two triangles are congruent according to the theorem, right? Okay. The next one is which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem? So which is the correct option? Which two triangles? SAS means you have two sides and angle between two sides, right? So which two triangles are congruent? Triangle ABC, this one, and UVW. You can see AC is congruent to UVW, BC is congruent to VU, and angle C is congruent to angle BV. So ABC and UVW are congruent by the SAS theorem, right? Okay. Okay, the next question is which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem? So SAS theorem is two sides of the triangles are congruent and an angle between these two sides, right? You can see G, H and I, you have two sides, congruent sides and angle between them. And A, B, C, you have two sides and an angle between them, right? So A, B, C and G, H, I, they both the triangles are exactly congruent because GH is congruent to AC, GI is congruent to CB, and angle G is congruent to angle C, right? Okay, let's just start with the practice questions. Let's see if we have any. Okay, which two triangles are congruent by side, and side theorem? So, which two triangles? XYZ and XYZ and IJK are congruent, right? YZ is congruent to IK, ZX is congruent to IJ, and XY is congruent to KJ. So XYZ and IJK are congruent. Which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem? So which is the correct option? Which two triangles? Which is the correct option? Triangle BCD and BCD and XYZ are the triangles that are no, hold on. BCD and BCD and UVW are congruent. Angle 1, BCD and angles you can see CB is congruent to UW, VW, VU, CD is congruent to UVW, and angle C is congruent to angle V. So option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, which two sides are congruent by SAS theorem? So which is the correct option? So which is the correct option? UVW and QRS. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? UVW and QRS are congruent. Okay, which two triangles are congruent by S side theorem? Which is the correct option? So which is the correct option? The correct option is ABC and no, GHI and V UVW is the correct option. The second one is the correct option, right? It is GHI and UVW is the correct option. Okay, which two triangles are congruent by SAS theorem? Okay, which is the correct option? Mm, X, Y, Z and G, H, I, right? The correct option is option number one, X, Y, Z and G, H, I are the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is proving triangles congruent by SSS and SAS. Okay, let's see which two triangles are congruent. Okay, so you can see X is the midpoint of TV. Here is TV, X is the midpoint and UW. Complete the proof of triangle UVX. Okay, UVX is congruent to WTX, right? So because X is the midpoint of TV, that is given. And also X is the midpoint of UV, that is also given, right? So you can see Tx is congruent to Vx and Wx is congruent to Wx because that is a midpoint, so they are congruent, right? So angle TXW and angle UXV is congruent, that is the vertical angle theorem. Okay, let's just see. Okay, complete. FG is parallel to GH. Complete the proof that triangle FHI, okay, FHI is congruent to HFG. Okay, you are given FG, you are given FG and HI are parallel and FG and HI are congruent, right? So the alternate angles that would be side angle and side. That would be side angle side, right? Okay, H is the midpoint of GI. Complete the proof. Okay, H is the midpoint of GI. GJ and HK are congruent. HJ and IK are congruent, right? That would be side angle side, right? The correct option is because you are given two sides that are parallel, so that means that is a side angle and side. So that is side angle and side, right? Hmm? Side, side, side. Where is the third? Oh, yes, that is three sides. So that would be side, side, and side, right? Okay. Okay. H is the midpoint of GI. That's the exactly same we just did, right? So the correct option is okay. Let's just see. G J is congruent to HK, GH is congruent to KH. That is side, side, and side. That's exactly the same we just did, isn't it? That would be side, side, and side. Okay, why is the midpoint of WX? Complete the proof that triangle VXY is congruent to VWX. Okay, why is the midpoint of WX, right? That would be side, angle, and side. You can see from here, you're given one of the perpendicular angle and then two of the sides. So that is side, angle, and side, right? Complete the proof that triangle PST is congruent to triangle QRT. Okay, so you are given QT is perpendicular to PT and RT is perpendicular to ST, right? That means then triangle PTS and triangle QTR are congruent. That means then it is side, angle, and side. The correct option is side, angle, and side. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Proving triangles congruent by angle side angle and angle angle side, right? Let's just start with the practice questions. Okay, what's wrong with this one? Okay, let's see. Complete the proof that triangle RSU and QTU are congruent, right? Okay, so SU is congruent to UT and RU is congruent to QU, right? These two are given. Also, angle QUT and angle RUS are congruent, right? So that means is a side, angle, and side. Let's just start with the test questions. Okay, W is the midpoint of TV and SU. Complete the proof that triangle TUW and VSW are congruent. Okay, so you can see W is the midpoint of TV and SU, right? And SV is congruent to TU, right? That means then TW is congruent to VW and SW is congruent to UW, right? So it is side, side, and side, right? All three sides are congruent. That would be side, side, and side, right? Okay, complete the proof that triangle VXY and triangle VWY are congruent, right? Okay, so you're given angle X, V, Y and angle like this angle and WVY this angle. They both are congruent, right? Because WX is perpendicular on VY. So that means angle VYW is perpendicular to is congruent to VYW because they both are perpendicular angle, right? So that would be angle side and that would be in angle side and angle. Okay. Complete the proof that triangle RSU is congruent to triangle QTU, right? Okay, so you are given SU is perpendicular is congruent to TU and QU is congruent to RU, right? That means then angle QUT and RUS is congruent. That would be side angle side, two sides, and the angle between them is congruent. So that would be side angle and side, right? This one angle is congruent. That is between the perpendicular between the congruent side. So that would be side angle and side, right? The correct option is SAS. Okay. The next one is HK bisects triangle IHG. Where is HK? Okay, here is the line HK that bisects angle IHNG. Complete the proof that triangle HIK and triangle HJK are congruent, right? So you are given that HK bisects triangle IHG, right? And also HI and HJ are congruent, right? So that means IHK and JHK are also congruent, right? And HK is congruent to HK. So it would be side, angle, and side, right? You can see side, angle, and side. So it would be side, angle, and side. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. And the next lesson is SSS, SAS, ASA, and AAS theorems. So let's just start with the next lesson. Okay, which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Okay, you can see QT and QU are congruent, right? That means SQT and angle VQU is also congruent, right? Because they are the vertical angles. These two sides are congruent, so the vertical angles are also congruent, right? Let's see test questions because okay, why which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Okay, you're given just one angle, right? I think none of the above because these triangles cannot be proven congruent. You are just given with two angles, right? But they share the side FB. It would be angle, angle, and angle, side, and angle. You can see this angle. Angle F and angle CFB. Hold on, let me just write. Angle CFB, this one angle, right, is congruent to this one angle FBCG, right? And this side is congruent. FB is congruent to FB because that is the common between both of them, right? So it would be angle, angle, and side. Let me just pick, because that is angle and side and angle. No, that means it is none of the above these triangles cannot be proven. Okay, notice that the triangle share BF. The congruent sides and angles form AS, not SAS, right? That they just form angle and S. Okay. One angle and one side is congruent, just right. So that triangle is not be congruent, right? Okay. Which rule explain why these triangles are congruent? Okay. Angle N is congruent to angle S. Angle M is congruent to angle Q, and angle K is congruent to angle P. So three of the angles are congruent. It would be sorry, it would be three of the angles are congruent, right? But no side. That means none of the above these triangles cannot be proven congruent, right? Hmm, that would be SSS because three of the angles are congruent. That means all three sides are congruent then. Hmm? Okay, none of the above the triangles cannot proven. Notice that there are no pairs of congruent sides since all of the congruency theorems call for at least one pair of congruent side. Okay, because you don't have any congruent side, right? That means it is not congruent. Okay. Okay, which rule explain why these triangles are congruent? Okay, angle J is congruent to angle M. They have two angles congruent and one side, right? That would be angle, side, and angle. That would be option number one. This angle and this angle, then two angles and one side. So it would be angle, side, and angle. Yes, it is. Which rule explain why these triangles are congruent? It is side, angle, and side, right? No, angle, that would be angle, side, and angle because two of the angles, this one, and W angle, and you have a common side, common, that would be WY. So it would be angle, side, and angle. Okay, which rule explain these triangles are not congruent, right? Just three of the angles are congruent, no side is congruent, right? So that means all the theorems must have one side congruent, so they are not the congruent triangles, right? Which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Okay, two of the sides are congruent, right? CB and AF is congruent. Angle B and angle F is congruent. Also CA is congruent, right? So angle, side, angle, side. But I think no. Angle is not between the two congruent sides, right? I think it is none of the above. Yes, it is none of the above, right? Which rule explain why these triangles are congruent? Because two of the angles are congruent and one of the side, right? So it would be angle, side, and angle is congruent, right? Which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Okay, QU and QT is congruent, right? Then the angle is also congruent because they are the alternate angles. VQU and that is, I think, none of the above. Yes. Okay. Which rule explains why these triangles are congruent? Okay, side AC and AG is congruent. AF and AB is congruent. Two of the sides are congruent, right? That means then angle AFAG and BAC is congruent because that is the alternate angle, right? So that is between two sides and angle between the two sides. So it is side, angle, and side. Okay, XY is a translation of X dash Y dash is the translation of XY, right? The translation rule. Hmm. Okay, let me see. Here the Y coordinate is -6 and -3. Here the Y coordinate is write the translation rule. How do I know? I think none of the above. And this is also not the triangle. Angle, side angle. How? You can see here the graph and here the explanation. Wow, amazing. Okay. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Okay, SSS theorems in the coordinate plane. Okay, R triangle BCD and HIJ congruent. I think no, they are not congruent. Okay, so you have to calculate the side lengths of triangle WXY and the side lengths of ABC. 'B, C. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Let's see. Are triangle HIJ and triangle BCD congruent? Let's just calculate their side lengths, right? You're given with the coordinates. So here the coordinates are 8, 0, 8, 9, negative 1, 9. This one is negative 1, negative 9, negative 8 and negative 9, negative 8 and 1. You can just calculate the side lengths from here, right? You can use the distance formula to calculate their distances. Okay, let's just calculate the distance from this side. Let me hold on. But this is too small, even very hard to read. Find the side length of triangle HIJ. Hold on. Let me try to read. But I think it is. Find HJ. Since H and J have the same y coordinates, HJ is the absolute value of the difference, that is 9. Then IJ is also 9. Find HI and you have to calculate HI, that is okay. Okay, you have to see if these triangles are congruent, they must have same side lengths, right? So you have to calculate their side lengths. Either you can use by distance formula or without by any formula, right? They have same x coordinate, right? That means their distance is just 9, right? Then HJ is also 9. So for HI, you have to apply the distance formula, right? So for this one, negative 8 and negative 8 is same. I think we can do this lesson in the next session, right? Because we have only 4 or 5 minutes. So we'll do this in the next session. So we are working on the congruent triangles grade 10 mathematics. The lessons we have covered today are SSS and SAS theorems, proving triangles congruent by SSN and SAS theorem, proving triangles congruent by ASA and AAS theorem, and SSS, ASA and ASA theorems. So please make sure before the next session you have to complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9, or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10, right? So that's all for today. If you have any question, you still have 5 minutes, you can ask. I am here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any.